Welcome back. Now let's turn our attention to the economy. Yes, it was good news when we heard that Nigeria moved out of recession. But again, we have other figures that, are not palatable, not something that Nigerians are happy about. For instance, between January and September this year, over 4 million people became unemployed. So, how can it be better in 2018? We have in the studio this morning a human capital development expert, Michael Adeleye. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. And compliment of the season to you.
Thank you. And through Skype, a financial analyst, Charles Iyore, is joining us from Kent, England. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
Okay, since I'm with you, let's start with you. How did you see Nigeria's economy in 2017?
That to me?
Yes, Mr. Iyore.
Okay, all right. Well, like what we say, it's nice to remain optimistic about the economy, but we are outside players. The first point I'd like to make is that anybody will be in denial if you do not acknowledge that the ease with which people can steal money and play around with it without the system catching it must bother an antitrust. It's marks of a betrayal by those who own banking licenses and maybe stockbrokers and lawyers. That's the first problem, because like you were talking in the previous program, the policemen go to the same markets as you. If their money, the take-home pay doesn't get them home, then there's a problem with the financial system. That's my small take on the financial system.
Okay, so let me come to you, Mr. Adeleye. What's your take on the economy for 2017?
Thank you very much. Like my colleague just mentioned, we're quite very happy and very delighted that we actually came out from the recession that we actually, unfortunately, found ourselves in there. But there are lessons to be learned for us to be able to ensure that we don't plunge back into it, as we progress into the new year 2018. Now, we should look at some fundamentals like employment, job creation, looking into how businessmen and women could have access to financial loans and so on and so forth. Now that we still have double digits, which is not helpful at all. We should look into the areas where we have social injustice and so on and so forth. Now, bringing all this together and many other factors, I guess it should propel us into a prosperous new year going forward.
Okay, Mr. Iyore, I'll come back to you with this one. You give an overview of your take on the financial system in Nigeria, but let's look at the entire economy. The Nigerian Bureau of Statistics came up with some reports about unemployment rate. A number of people between January and September this year that lost their jobs increased as about 4.07 million became unemployed. But even at that, the number of people within the bracket of can be called economically active increased from 110 to 111 million within the same period. In all of this, people will be talking about our GDP, how we're still the largest economy in Africa, but is it measurable as regards, or how would you weigh it against the number of people that became unemployed, and yet the number of people that are supposed to be economically active increased?
Thank you. Well, like I said earlier on, it is not just about being employed. What they say is basically, are they gainfully employed?
Yeah.
I like you to tell me of most people who are on level 17, which is the highest level in the civil service, who can afford a car on their salaries at the end of 3 years, but they have cars. What I'm telling you basically is that the financial system is like the lifeblood of the economy. If you don't get your financial system right, if you don't understand the concept of money, you're rolling around from one state not being able to pay salaries and federal government not meeting its objectives, then you must look fundamentally are how well your financial system is working. I still hold the view that if the financial system works, then work will pay, production will come back into play. Our financial system has failed us woefully. It's done well with just cashiering in terms you can get your cash from the bank and all of that stuff. Credit has not been created. There's still a lot of waste in the agricultural produce that comes into play. That's what we must look critically at our financial system. If you don't do that, it's like you're expecting the man to run without blood in his veins. So jobs are not jobs. Okay, critical jobs are critical, but how many people who are employed right now are gainfully employed? Thank you.